Owning your own business isn't easy. It's isolated, it's demanding, yet you know exactly where you want to go. So, how do you effectively manage your biggest responsibility when sales always seem to hide unexpected expenses and opportunities just fall short of success?
You can't just start off a business. Firstly, your rent is high. My overheads was very, very high.
As a newcomer in the business, it's very difficult for big businesses to give you the opportunity. That was a major challenge that we came across.
There's a lot of support that government is offering, and there's a lot of initiatives that are happening out there. But big companies are basically usurping the monopoly in terms of how they position themselves. And what has also happened is a lot of BEE companies have been bought out by bigger companies. But for smaller companies that want to remain independent and want to be a market player, that compromises us.
Then the business came into trouble because financially I couldn't manage my finance. I had no idea of marketing. There was no marketing strategy. I had no idea.
Even when growing your business becomes a daunting task.
As time goes on and as the business grows, you end up with a situation whereby you employ more staff and you then internally move up accordingly. But your actual knowledge is limited to the product only. And this is where the problem comes in. You know your product very well and you can produce the product, but you end up having to make do with your limited resources as far as managerial skills is concerned.
Finance in the business is a critical element within your business. We are in business to make money. So if you do not understand how your money is working for you, really is a disaster.
The business outgrew my idea, and as a skilled person, that is all I knew. Manufacturing, you can ask me to do anything, I make it for you. But the business outgrew my idea until such time where it couldn't grow any further. And I didn't have any idea how to make it grow further.
You realize that the harder you're working isn't really hard enough.
The emerging entrepreneur, in actual fact, gets to a point where he is physically involved in manufacturing the product, as in our case. You end up rolling up your sleeves, getting into the trenches and actually physically doing the actual physical work.
But there's help. The iSBDP. The iSBDP won't tell you how to run your business because it's your business.
Our company is called Smart Staging Solutions.
Originally I owned a company called Mr. Exhaust, Mr. Tire.
I'm in the recruitment and labor broking business.
I do manufacturing of medical equipment.
The iSBDP will rather take you on a journey to think differently about your business and plan for its success.
This course at the Chambers has given me an insight into all the aspects of the business. I can go into the department, into financial department. I can lean over the shoulders of somebody that's working on financials, and I can see exactly where I am.
What I've learned coming through the program was starting with a self-awareness as an entrepreneur. You identify the weaknesses that you are having and you identify your strengths. When you know what are your weaknesses, you get people that will complement your weaknesses.
I look at my actual managerial accounts now differently. That was eye-opening, and that's what I learned within the course.
Teaches you how to approach your staff, how to approach your business, how to approach yourself. I've got to be honest, with a business I had before, I hated it. I hated going to work. I enjoy waking up in the morning now and facing new goals in business.
Turning the effort you've put in into real results that are driven not by working hard, but by working smart.
In dealing with the tenders that I've responded to, in dealing with corporates that I've seen, one of the things was just pure planning and understanding what the client's needs are and shaping my product and my offerings around what they wanted. So I think while funding initially was a challenge, the challenge to me now is to get out there, to be recognized, to be taken seriously as a brand, and to be able to compete in one sense with bigger companies, but also to look at joining with smaller companies like myself that's in the same industry and presenting ourselves as a strong force because I think if small and small join, we can become big, and we can become a force to be reckoned with.
Since I've been on my course, I've been able to sit down and realise where I want to go with this. It's not something where I just want to open up one shop and that is it. I've already opened up my second shop. I've only been here 7 months. My goal at the end of the day is to have franchises throughout the whole of the Western Cape, and selling them at a price where people can afford, and having the training. I'm going to have a training school so where people can be trained properly for what they need to know in a business like this.
It gave me the ability to run the business in a way I never ran it before. I could go to the bank, I could sit down with the manager, I could tell him what my strategy would be and how am I going to utilize the money that I'm going to actually lend from him. I could do that.
The iSBDP. Enriching business, enriching lives.
But the approach taken in this course by the actual lecturer was brilliant. I mean, he brought finance into marketing, which I didn't even believe it was. You know, I thought it was just corporate colors, etc., etc. He also then established and made you think about where you actually are and where you fit in your value chain. And that was primary for me. I mean, I didn't even think of that prior to this course. And I thought it was brilliant.
Because I had the weakness of marketing, I did not really like going out and getting the business. But through the information that I've learned, I became more confident, and then it was easier for me going out there to get the business. Because once you are confident and the person that you are talking to is convinced that you know what you are talking about, then they are able to give you the opportunity. You know, when you go through these programs, you start learning about the opportunities that are out there as well.
Another thing for me that I found very, very supportive was the fact that I could actually call my mentor. My mentor got on board, listened to my business plan, listened to what I have to say. And it wasn't about her offering me solutions, but was more about her working through solutions with me. And just have her as a sounding board to double check things where things got really tough for me. And what I also found useful, despite the fact that I've completed the program, is that I still have a linkage with my mentor. And I can pick up the phone and say to her, I've got a really difficult client. I don't know what to do. How do I deal with this one?
For anybody who's even got their own business or who's wanting to get their own business, I advise them, go on the course, listen to what the people have to say. You'll be surprised when you come out of there. My wife couldn't believe the difference in me on my first day. It just hyped me up and I was just ready to run. And I hadn't been like that for months.
Personally, I think once I did the course, I was really sorry that I started the business. I actually wanted to close the business and restarted it because the business went on for so long in a direction which was neither left or right. First do the course, then start the business, because then you would actually do a business, you would run the business as a business should be run.